Hello dear students, welcome to our today's session. Today we are going to read the third chapter of Vista's book, and the title of the chapter is Journey to the End of the Earth, which has been authored by Tisani Doshi. Dear students, Tisani Doshi is a South Indian writer. The story of this whole chapter is centered around the geographical, geological and biological changes of Antarctica continent. Tisani Doshi got an opportunity to visit Antarctica continent with a team of high school students which was headed by Geoff Green, a Canadian educator. And the all students went there under a program named Students on Ice. The sole motive of taking those students to Antarctica was to create an awareness among those students who were the future policymakers, and in order to help them realize the threat of global warming. Dear students, global warming is a grave concern of today's time. Numerous debates have been taking place on this issue, on this topic. And as you know, global warming is caused by the carbon emission and the pollution which is caused by human beings. Tisani Doshi went there to understand the Earth's ecology, its environment, and what is the history behind this Antarctica continent. Let me tell you, Antarctica at times was part of India. Almost 500 million years ago, Antarctica and India were part of single landmass, which was known as Gondwana. Okay? When the continental collisions took place and the geological, geographical and biological changes took place in the earth, these two continents separated. That is, India is a subcontinent and Antarctica is a continent, and different countries formed. Okay? So this is a history of millions of years ago. What the students learn, what Tisani Doshi studied about this, what could she see there, let us know while going through the textual reading of this chapter. So before you read, if you want to know more about the planet's past, present and future, the Antarctica is the place to go to. Okay? This has been said by Bon Boys. So this is the perfect place which can tell you much about the changes which took place on this earth millions of years ago. And nowadays, rather years before, many people have reached that place to study about the various changes. So let us go ahead. Yes, I would like to tell you that in this chapter, some geographical locations are also involved. For that, you need to study the globe. As you know, our earth is divided in some blocks, and they have been divided with the help of the parallels of latitudes and meridians of longitudes. If you see on the earth, on the globe, you will find this is equator and these are the parallels of latitudes and these are the meridians of longitudes, which divide the earth in different locations, and according to these lines we can ascertain the location of a country. There is Tropic of Cancer above the equator, and there is Tropic of Capricorn. So from Madras they took on their journey to reach Antarctica continent. And as you know, Earth is tilted on its axis like this. Here in the bottom, that is southern pole, Antarctica continent is there around the southern pole, which is frigid zone, totally frigid zone. Okay, आइस से कवर है पूरी तरह से. Early this year, so I would like to show you the location of Antarctica continent. You can see on the globe. This is our country. From there you need to go through the South Indian Ocean, and this is Ile Amsterdam, a small island, and thereafter you need to go through the Southern Ocean, and then this is Antarctica continent, and this is southern pole. Okay, so this white portion which is shown on this globe is the Antarctica region, which is known as a frigid zone. I hope you have got an idea about the location of this continent, so that you can understand the journey. And this journey was taken, they went aboard a ship which was named as Akademik Sokolsky, the Russian research vessel. Vessel is a name given to a ship. Early this year, I found myself abroad, not aboard. Aboard means on board a ship, a Russian research vessel, the Akademik Sokolsky, heading towards the coldest, driest, windiest continent in the world, Antarctica. Here I refers to Tisani Doshi because she is a part of that team who is going to Antarctica continent. So Tisani Doshi has boarded the Russian research ship vessel whose name was Akademik Sokolsky, and this was going towards the world's most driest, coldest and windiest, means heavy winds blow there, continent, which is known as Antarctica. My journey began 1309 degrees north of the equator in Madras. So these are the geographical locations we need to know by means of the globe. This is the location of Madras from where they left for Antarctica, and this is at a 13.09 degrees angle from the equator, and involved crossing 9 time zones. They had to pass through 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and at least as many ecospheres. So as you know, all the countries on the globe, on the earth, are divided in the time zones. Okay, if you talk about our country, our standard mean time is IST, that is 5 hours 30 minutes plus. So this is taken in reference to Greenwich Mean Time, which is taken as 0 degree. And they had to cross 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, means oceanic water, and almost equal ecospheres. By the time I actually set foot on the Antarctica continent, I had been traveling over 100 hours in combination of a car, an aeroplane, and a ship. So my first emotion on. Facing Antarctica's expansive white landscape and uninterrupted blue horizon was relief, followed up with an immediate and profound wonder. Dear students, when Tisani Doshi, along with her team, reached Antarctica, and when they landed on Antarctica, by that time they had traveled almost for 100 hours, right? And the journey took 100 hours to reach there. These 100 hours journey included the journey by car, journey by aeroplane, and by ship. So these three modes of conveyance they had to adopt in order to reach Antarctica, and this journey took 100 hours to reach there. After facing Antarctica's expansive white landscape, as you know, Antarctica is a frigid zone. It is full of ice, and there is no existence of life. Okay, means life exists, but the conditions are not worth living. The conditions are not worth living. We can't stay there for a longer period. So a white snow, this Antarctica region was fully encrusted with white snow. Uninterrupted blue horizon was relief. Uninterrupted means the blue horizon. Horizon is a place at a great distance where earth and sky seems meeting each other. Okay, so there was uninterrupted blue horizon, means there was no cloud, and the horizon was looking very clear, as if the sky was touching the ice और ए फ्रिजिड जोन ऑफ अंटार्कटिका. दूर से देखने में ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कि दोनों टच कर रहे हो, कोई बादल आसमान में बिल्कुल नहीं थी, इसलिए अनइंटरप्टेड था, बिल्कुल साफ दिखाई दे रहा था. फॉलोड अप विद एन इमीडिएट एंड प्रोफाउंड वंडर, एंड देयर आफ्टर समथिंग वंडरफुल आई कुड सी देयर. दिस वॉज सीइंग द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस प्लेस full of serenity, sacredness. I was full of emotions. Okay, my emotions exuded. Wonder at its immensity, means that wonder was full of immense, means it was a big wonder for me, you can say. Immense means huge, big, vast. Its isolation means the forlornness or loneliness of this place. This was isolated, but mainly at how there could ever have been a time when India and Antarctica were part of the same landmass. So the wonder was, I was wondered to know or to imagine how this Antarctica could have been when India and Antarctica were one at times, almost millions of years ago. So how could it have looked at that time when India was part of the same landmass, and the same landmass was Gondwana. Okay, part of history. What history speaks about it? 650 million years ago, a giant amalgamated southern supercontinent, Gondwana, did indeed exist, centered roughly around the present day Antarctica. So this is the time when Gondwana existed, and that was 650 million years ago. That was a giant, means a big, a very huge amalgamated southern continent, means a huge southern supercontinent. Supercontinent means a continent which is bigger than all other continents, सबसे बड़ा continent. And that was amalgamated, means that was combined, that time it was united. So Gondwana was the supercontinent which was a combination of Antarctica and other subcontinents and countries, which later divided in different parts, in different countries, and that indeed exist. Okay, it is said by history that this Gondwana existed 650 million years ago, and that existence of Gondwana was just around this present day Antarctica. things were quite different then. Humans hadn't arrived on the global scene. Means at that time, 650 million years ago, Gondwana was the free from human beings. Okay, there were no human beings living on that planet, on that continent, and the climate was much warmer. That time, climate of this Gondwana was warmer. As you can see, today it is quite cold. It is frigid zone, but at that time it was warm, hosting a huge variety of flora and fauna. And that time on this continent there were many flowers, that is plants and animals existing. Okay, flora and fauna means plants and animals. So at that time the existence of plants and animals could be witnessed, and that existed there. For 500 million years Gondwana thrived. So almost for 500 million years Gondwana flourished, that existed. This continent, that supercontinent Gondwana existed for 500 million years. But after that, around the time when the dinosaurs were wiped out and the age of the mammals got underway, the landmass was forced to separate into countries, shaping the globe much as we know it today. After that, what happened? It was the time when the extinction of dinosaurs was taking place. Means dinosaurs were disappearing on this continent, and they were almost wiped out. Means the dinosaurs were almost on the verge of extinction. At that time, this Gondwana landmass became a continent which got divided into different parts, different land masses, and they became the different countries which can be seen today on the globe. So जो आज ग्लोब पे देख रहे हैं जो कंट्रीज़, वो सारे के सारे उस समय गोंडवाना जो कॉन्टिनेंट था उसका पार्ट होते थे, लेकिन बाद में जब 500 ईयर्स के आसपास या अगो डायनासोर्स इस अर्थ से एक्सटिंक्ट हुए, मीन्स विलुप्त हुए, उस समय ये अलग अलग कंट्रीज में डिवाइड हो गए. दिस टुक प्लेस बिकॉज ऑफ द टेक्टोनिक शिफ्ट ऑफ द अर्थ and different chemical and biological changes in the earth. As you know, earth has 3 layers. Top is crust, mantle and core. So in the core, different chemical changes keep on taking place. Because of that, earthquakes happen and the volcanic eruptions take place. To visit Antarctica now is to be a part of that history. If today you visit Antarctica, then you can know about the history of Antarctica. You can witness, yes, what kind of continent it could have been at that time, means 500 years ago, when there used to be a supercontinent known as Gondwana. To get a grasp of where we come from and where we could possibly be heading. So if you go to Antarctica, you can study these things, that what was our evolution, from where we evolved, and which side we are going, means are we heading towards death? Okay, possibly be heading, means by seeing Antarctica, you can imagine about your future. Yes, what harm we have caused to this earth, this continent, this planet earth, and if we continue doing so, this will definitely result in a devastation, a great damage to humanity. And one day, like dinosaurs, we human beings will also be on the verge of extinction from this planet. It is to understand the significance of Cordilleran faults and Precambrian granite shields, ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction. So from Antarctica, you can understand about this Cordilleran faults. Cordilleran faults means the extensive chain of mountain ranges, okay, mountain ranges which are existing today. You can take the mountain ranges, Himalayas, Vindhyas, and so many other Alps uh, mountain ranges. And Precambrian means a large area of crystalline, igneous, and high-grade metamorphic rocks. Before that, granite shields, ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction. So you can understand, you can study about their evolution and their extinction, how ozone existed, is existing on this in this environment, in this universe, how it evolved, and how the carbon emission took place, how the excessive emission of carbon is harmful for our mother earth and for the this universe, and what is the importance of these mountain ranges and the plains which are uh, of crystalline, igneous, and granite rocks, metamorphic rocks. So when you think about all that can happen in a million years, it can get pretty mind boggling. Okay, when you think about all that can happen in a million years, it can get pretty mind boggling. Imagine India pushing northwards. So all these things took place, or all these changes took place in the million years, in a million years. So this is of course something very overwhelming. You can be overjoyed with that. Imagine India pushing northwards, and by knowing that within million years these many changes could take place there on the Gondwana, then you can imagine, yes, India pushing northwards, jamming against Asia to buckle its crust and form the Himalayas. At that time, what would have happened on this planet when Gondwana was subdivided in different subcontinents and countries? That time India would have shifted towards the Asian continent, and it would have formed the Himalayas by buckle. Buckle means a plain area with its crust. Crust is the top layer of the earth. South America is drifting off to join North America, and at that time South America would have shifted towards North America, and now you can see on the globe even that South America and North America is almost close to each other. Just there is a passage of water body opening up the Drake passage to create a cold circumpolar current. So Drake passage, this is a water body which is near the North America and South America, and cold circumpolar current means, circumpolar means around the poles. So a cold current existed then around the southern pole, which took the shape of a frigid zone today known as Antarctica, keeping Antarctica frigid. So that cold current, that is cold waves and cold water, which causes the Antarctica to remain frigid, desolate. It became uninhabited, means without life, where no people live, and at the bottom of the world. Of course, it is at the bottom of the world. It is at the southern pole. For a sun worshipping South Indian like myself, 2 weeks in a place where 90% of the earth's total ice volumes are stored in a chilling prospect, not just for circulatory and metabolic functions, but also for the imagination. It's like walking into a giant ping pong ball, devoid of any human markers, no trees, billboards, buildings. So the author here shares her experiences that she belongs to a South Indian state, which is a sun worshipping state, 2 weeks in a place where 90% of the earth's total ice volumes are stored in a chilling prospect. So I had to stay there for almost 2 weeks, and where the 90% of this earth's total ice is stored, means Antarctica has accumulated 90% of the total ice which is existing on this earth. So you can understand only 10% ice is out of Antarctica. Rest 90% is in the Antarctica itself. So it was a chilling prospect, means it was quite cold, not just for circulatory and metabolic functions, means it was not only biological or physically difficult for me, but for imagination. I could not imagine that I could stay there for these many days in such a low temperature, but also for the imagination. It's like walking into a giant ping pong ball, and my experience was just like uh, living on a ping pong ball. Ping pong ball is a light hollow ball used for the table tennis. Divide of any human markers. Divide means prevented from, means absent, or absence of human beings could be seen there, means there was not a single mark of human beings existence there on this continent. There were no trees, no billboards, means display boards which or hoardings which are displayed outside the big malls, shopping complexes, and there were no buildings. You lose all earthly sense of perspective and time here. So after reaching Antarctica, you forget everything about the time and the sense of earth which we can experience while living on this earth. But when you reach Antarctica, you will forget everything about earth and the perspective of time, that is what is the time going on. We forget about everything because we are at a distinct place at that time, that is Antarctica. The visual scale ranges from the microscopic to the mighty, midges and mites to blue whales and icebergs as big as countries. The largest recorded was the size of Belgium. So once we have gone there, and if you see your surrounding, you can see that everywhere you can see ice and ice only. Your scale, to any extent or to whichever distance you look at, you can see all around the ice, and that ranges to a large extent to vast areas. There also you can see midges and mites, means some flies, some small flies, and mites means small insects, to blue whales, means right from the smallest creatures to the largest creature you can see there. Blue whales also can be seen there, and icebergs as big as countries. The icebergs, the big uh, ice formations are as big as some countries, and the largest iceberg was as good as big as the size of Belgium country. Okay, so now you can imagine that वहाँ पे सबसे बड़ा जो आइस का जो शेप था, जो पीस था वहाँ पे, वो भी बेल्जियम जो कंट्री है उसके साइज का था. सो यू कैन जस्ट इमेजिन कि वो कितना बड़ा कॉन्टिनेंट होगा. Days gone and on in surreal 24 hours pastel summer light, and a ubiquitous silence interrupted only by the occasional avalanche on carving ice sheet consecrates the place. So surreal means very strange. Days go on and on in surreal 24 hours austral summer light. Austral means southern hemisphere. It is in context of the southern hemisphere. So days were going on when while our stay was there, or during our visit, the days were passing on in a very strange 24-hour summer light of southern hemisphere, means their night never sets in. Okay, on southern hemisphere during 24 hours there is light available, means there is always daytime on the southern hemisphere, and a ubiquitous silence interrupted only by the occasional avalanche, and there was a pin drop silence all around. Okay, ubiquitous means everywhere there was a pin drop silence, and that silence could only be disturbed by the occasional avalanches. Avalanche means the snow storms which occurs at times when snow incrustation takes place to a great heights. That time these avalanches take place and they can sometimes claim the lives also. Okay, so that was very peaceful place, but very calm, and that calmness could only be disturbed just because of the avalanches or carving ice sheet. Carving means split pieces of ice. When avalanche takes place, the ice breaks down in the small pieces, so that because of that pieces also that disturbance could be caused in that sacred and serene place of Antarctica. It's an immersion that will force you to place yourself in the context of the Earth's geological history. So when you go there, you will find yourself sunken in a situation where you can think about the Earth's geological history, what could have taken place there millions of years ago. And for humans, the prognosis isn't good. Prognosis means forecast or prediction. Yes, but what we could see there now was not good for the human beings. Means we could not predict something good for the human beings. Why? Because those avalanches, those carving ice sheets and melting of this iceberg, this frigid continent was a challenge for the human beings. Why? Because this is happening because of the global warming. As the global warming increases, the universal temperature increases, and that temperature causes melting of the icebergs and the continents like Antarctica. Due to that, the water level in the oceans is increasing, that is causing erosion on the seashores, and thereby the total area of the earth is reducing day by day. And if it goes on continuously like this at the same rate, one day there won't be any place or landmass left over for the human being to live on. Dear students, in the next session we will learn about the human impact on this Antarctica continent. Thank you. God bless you all.